Hey, so it's Monday, and every Monday I like to focus on something motivation wise. So today I want to share with you something really quickly on um, how I personally focus on setting my goals and how I make sure that I can remain motivated and actually bring these to life. So I'm going to quickly share my screen and share this with you. And this is just a small part of a presentation that I'm giving today to some clients. And this area is something that's really, really important. So for me, being able to 10x my goals and constantly focusing on generating more and being better and pushing myself is a really, real key component to my own life. So if you look here, you can see that there's 7 different categories. So we have income goals, we have wealth goals, we have health and fitness goals, we have spiritual goals, we have family goals, we have recreational goals, and we have career goals. The reason it's important to have goals in all of these 7 categories is because if you've ever tried to achieve something before, you've ever tried to hit a goal before, what's likely to have happened, let's say, for example, you focused on your health and you wanted to get yourself into shape. You put all of your effort and all of your energy into one key area, and that area improved. But it was at the detriment, so it was at the expense of one of these other 7 areas that are important to people's lives. So either your income went down, potentially if you were in a sales job, because you were focusing so much on what you were eating and how much you were training. Maybe your family life was affected. So your relationship, your partner started to complain, oh, I never get to see you. You're always in the gym or you're always meal prepping. Why can't we go out for dinner? Or maybe it interfered with your recreational goals. I can't come out, sorry. I'm doing this at the moment, so I've got no time to do anything remotely interesting in life. I'm a slave to work and the gym, and that's it. All of these areas, it's really important to focus on pushing them all forward in one go. Once you understand what your goals are in each of these areas, personally, I like to follow the 10x principle, so the Grant Cardone principle of 10xing these things. So once you have this base level goal, you times it by 10 and you really amplify the goal. If you're new to setting goals and you're new to achieving goals, what I would suggest first of all is to set a goal that excites you, that is not really comfortable. It's a little bit outside of your comfort zone and it's going to stretch you by at least 10%. Once you've hit those goals, on your second time around, I would then suggest that you start looking at 10xing these goals and making the long term goal bigger and then breaking it down into smaller steps. The problem you have if you 10x things straight out of the gate, and this is just my personal feeling on it, but if you 10x something straight out of the gate, so if you say, for example, I want to earn $1 million a year or £1 million a year, but you're currently only earning £40,000 a year. Well, that's a very big goal to jump from one to the other. And yes, you could break that down into stages straight away, but you run the risk if you're not familiar with setting goals and working to targets that you're going to provide yourself with overwhelm. You're going to be able to get no clarity and you're going to be trying to juggle too many plates too quickly. We have to remember that our mind is a muscle and we have to work it in a way like we would our biceps, our triceps, our chest, or our legs, any of these things. We have to over time increase the load. So initially I would suggest set a goal that is a little bit outside of your comfort zone that you have to work to achieve, and then the second time round look to do more and more and more. Once you understand your goals, you then need to understand a framework to achieve each of these goals. So what do I mean by a framework? Well, this could be simple, something as simple as a daily plan, something as meditation, journaling, regularly exercising, having a way in which you prepare your food or you get your food. A framework is something that allows you to understand how you achieve something. So it provides a recipe without it being too rigid. So it's not a black and white thing in that you have to do this. If you don't do this, you fail. It's a framework that can provide flexibility and it gives you general guidance in how to achieve things. So it gives you those boundaries and it gives you a clear path of how you move forward with these things. And then once we understand this, we have our goals, we understand the frameworks we're going to be using on a daily basis and a weekly basis and a monthly basis to be able to make these long-term goals become more than just dreams, we make them become reality, well, we then need to take consistent action. And this is an area that I think a lot of people fall down. Lots of people have set goals before, if at no other time in the year other than January the 1st. Some of you will also have a solid understanding of how to create a framework, or at the very least, how to do some very basic planning on a daily basis or a weekly basis. But it's the daily consistent action. There's two problems with the action that people take on a daily basis. Number one is that the action is not big enough. So you're doing consistent small action. So you need to speak to 300 people a day, but in reality, you're only speaking to 30. And then you get frustrated and disenchanted that you're not achieving your goals, you're not moving forward, or you're moving forward at a very slow pace. And rather than change your thinking and change the level of action you're taking, you think there's something wrong with either the goal or the framework, rather than just looking at the level of action you're taking. It has been said that you need to use 10 times the amount of effort, 10 times the amount of action that you think is needed to achieve your goal. That's the kind of thing that you need to have. You need to massively level up your thinking in the sense of, okay, I need to take astronomical levels of action every single day in order to achieve these 7 categories. If that scares you and that makes you go, oh, I don't want to do that, your goals are not big enough. Your goals are not important enough to you, because your goals should be so important to you that you are willing to do whatever it takes. And if your goals are not big enough, well, then you need to go all the way back to the beginning and understanding how to set goals. I have other training out there that helps you understand the importance of how you set goals and how you break those goals down, because we need to tap into the mindset of really setting those goals. So number one is either you're not taking a high enough level of action, or number two, your action is not consistent with your goals. So your actions and your beliefs are not aligning. You have a goal, but your action is not in line with that. So your goal might be, I want to lose 30 pounds, but you find yourself in Taco Bell or Pizza Hut every other day. Well, those goals and those actions don't align, because you get to the end of the week, and if nothing else, you're retaining water from the added salts and sugars and the fat in the food, and you're not creating a calorie deficit. You've lost no weight. You complain to say, I'm not lost any weight, even though I'm focusing on my goal. But if you look at your actions, they don't align with the goal. I want to go on 10 holidays a year. How many holidays have you booked? None. Okay. Again, actions and beliefs, they're not aligning. You have to make sure that your action aligns with the goal every day, not when it suits, not on a Thursday, but every single day. And it's at that point that when you take a high enough level of action that is in line with your goal, you're following the frameworks, because it's the frameworks that keep you accountable. It's the frameworks that keep you motivated. It's the frameworks that keep you passionate. And it's the frameworks that keep you on track. Well, it's at that point that you start to achieve your goals. And once you start to achieve your goals, it's important to make sure there's a framework in there that allows you to review what you're doing so that you can continue to change your goals, so that you can make it an evergreen process. Because if you see your goals as just a one-time thing of, oh, I want to increase my income by 20%, well, you're going to achieve that 20% income if you follow these steps. But then what? Then you're either going to plateau or you're going to drop off. It's really important to make sure that you have an evergreen process. And by evergreen, I just mean a process that is always alive and working and helping you to move forward. I hope this short video is useful. Or as always, make sure you subscribe, comment, like the video. Love comments from you guys. Love subscribers from you. And I will be back tomorrow. Take care, guys. Bye.